Cardano ADA down around 26% on this daily chart in recent days. Ouch. In this video, I want to break down why it does not matter. We're going to dig into the charts too. We got a 4 hour. We have some targets to talk about. We're going to zoom out and see the real picture, what is going on with ADA. But before we do any of that, I have to point something out. I don't know if you saw this. This was the other day. Crypto research firm says, sell all your Cardano ADA. Here's why. I've been covering a lot of other things, especially with the Coinbase case. I haven't had a chance to bring this up, and it's on my chest. I need to let it off my chest because I think there's a lot of new people out there. You might be watching this video and you're new and you see stuff like this. I remember the days of kind of entering the crypto space. Research firm? That sounds legit. So this is in regards to ADA, but I want to say specifically, even if you don't even like ADA, you're uninterested or you're thinking about it, maybe you like Solana. This is a very meaningful point that I'm about to make. So crypto research firm, the crypto research firm is K33 Research. And I just want to give you a brief overview. And what's funny is understand the digital assets industry from short-term market signals to long-term fundamentals. And then this is the funny part. Tired of biased and superficial takes on crypto? So here's what they did the other day. Why you should sell all your Cardano ADA. That's a pretty powerful statement as a research firm telling all these people in crypto to sell their ADA. The Cardano network's complete lack of meaningful activity will make the ADA token worthless over time. So first thing I want to point out, I'm not going to sit here and talk about how ridiculous their research is. It is absolutely ridiculous. They're not correct in their research. They're just not. And I'm not saying that just because I'm an ADA holder. ADA whale, if you want to get into that, the debate of it all, he did it. He replied. And look at the ratio there. Look at this ratio, 506 to 38. But he replied with a thread that he did about Cardano ecosystem and what's going on in Cardano ecosystem. Absolutely just destroys everything that they're saying. But you can just see, and here's my point. This is the point I want to make, especially if you're new out there, even if it doesn't apply to ADA. Look at this post, okay? Why you should sell all your ADA. 59,000 views. This is the point that I want to make. 59,000 views on their X account on that post, right? That's not bad. If you're an X account, you want views like that. Now, going through all of their other posts that don't have anything to do with Cardano ADA. Look at this. 1,000 views. 1,000 views. 1.3 thousand views. Read this and more in our weekly report, Ahead of the Curve. Quite literally, they're behind the curve. You go to something like actual ADA data in terms of Cardano network and what it's doing. There's so much happening in Cardano ecosystem when this type of growth that we're seeing in Cardano ADA was not happening in other altcoins, right? In DeFi, in the smart chains. Cardano ADA, from a fundamental perspective, and this is a research firm, they're supposed to cover fundamentals, they're ignoring that. The reason I'm bringing this up is to say this. As we prepare to go into the next cycle, if you like ADA, if you like Solana, if you like Avalanche, Polkadot, XRP, whatever you like, understand why you like it, and also understand that when you see something negative about it, even if it's from a research firm, a lot of what takes place, not only on X, but just in terms of articles and media firms, a lot of what takes place is very simply engagement farming. They will, because they don't get good engagement with their content, and you can see that illustrated here, they don't get good engagement, they will target a community that is passionate with something negative because they'll get the engagement. And that's just what happens. So be very careful out there, everybody. And especially if you're an ADA holder, this story, this happens to ADA so often. ADA is like number one for this happening. And I think it's because the community is very passionate, but the fundamentals are also so strong. So it's just a perfect combo of getting that engagement, stirring the controversy. K33 Research did it. And it's just complete inaccurate research. And also, I would say irresponsible, just straight up saying, hey, sell your ADA. So I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody to sell anything or buy anything. But I wanted to point that out. It just keeps popping up. I open TradingView and there's headlines still about it. Even today, I think it was. So let's pivot to the charts and talk about the charts a little bit. This is ADA on the 4-hour. We're going to dig into it. I started on the daily because this is the snapshot that we have right now. 50 cents exactly as I do this video. 50 cents. We're going to break down. It's a 26% to downside move from the swing high. But I said in the beginning of the video, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to illustrate exactly why. And I want to start, before I even illustrate exactly why and talk about actual targets, I do want to just start. As we start really tracking the move and anticipating what's next, I want to start with this video. This was from January 8th, 10 days ago. Check it out. Really quick clip. We had a small triangle here. Well, now we might get a larger triangle here, right? Or some other type of pattern. Maybe it will end up being an ascending triangle. That's what I do. I just wait now. We wait. That was 10 days ago. We're still waiting. But check this out. This is fun. It's fun for me to replay that clip because it's still speculative. But we do have kind of 1, 2, 3. It kind of bounced out of that from that what was that? The 8th, I said? The 8th when I did the video right here. We were just touching the bottom trend line. Popped out of there. Head back up to 61 cents or so. Fell back down. So right now we're kind of putting in a fourth touch. Still speculative in terms of the ascending triangle. This is just fun for me. As there's nothing else to do while we wait for consolidation, we wait for moving averages to start pulling into each other, the 200s all the way down here. As we wait, we wait for structure. And this is becoming fun because in that video, I did speculate an ascending triangle, and I'm leaving it on the screen because I want to see how this plays out. Now, again, it's speculative. We don't have it in play yet. But what I did notice, and here's where we start talking about targets. We can talk about targets to the upside out of the speculative triangle, right? It's above $1, number one, bullish. And to the downside, it's all the way down here, I believe, towards 33 cents, 35 cents or so. But what I did notice when I went to the 4-hour, we have kind of this other setup that is in play on a shorter term scale, and that's on the 4-hour. And this is kind of what I'm watching tonight because even this is really not, I like 5 touches. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm very curious to see. This might not even play out. This is very speculative as well, but if we get a little bit of even just sideways at the lower trend line, that would be considered for me kind of a 5th touch. The structure will be here of the ascending, or not the ascending, this is just symmetrical triangle, but target to the downside around 36 cents. But what I want to point out too, I have to point this out, target to the upside, 77 cents. This is the perfect picture of how fast things can turn around. I tweeted earlier, I was like, dude, people become bearish so fast. This move from 68 cents to where we are right now, this is nothing. This is a nothing move. If you've been in crypto over the years, you just know that. In a bull market, in a bear market, that's a nothing move. And so right now we're allowing the structure to set up, but it's consolidating. And all of a sudden, everybody's bearish because we're down 26%. And we could actually fall lower. And even that would be normal. And I would not be concerned. But the other thing that could happen, and it does happen, is everybody's bearish now. And all of a sudden, all we have to do is start trending back up to the upper trend line here. Then we have a symmetrical triangle in place at this 5th touch to the upper trend line, 57 cents. ADA all of a sudden is 57 cents. Everybody's bullish again. And that's the emotion of it all. You're going to see this. That's the emotion of it all. As we get structure, as we get consolidation. But now we start talking about why the fall that has happened, 26% that I started on this video, boom, why it doesn't matter. It really does start on the 4-hour right here with these potential targets, 30, 36 cents to the downside. And it ends over here on the weekly. It's a weekly chart, everybody. It's almost like when you zoom out like this, it's almost like, wow, not much has even happened actually since we've exited the bear market. It's just kind of consolidating sideways on this weekly chart. And I am very just strongly convinced the move that we've had here, I've talked about it a lot, is so similar to the move we had going into Shelley, and this was post-Bitcoin halving. So this move is earlier than it happened last cycle. I've said that time and time again. But we're comparing those moves, and we have room to the downside. We really just do. It just is what it is. Prior to the halving, we have months to go until the halving in April, and we have these moving averages, the 50 moving average in blue around 35 cents to the 20-week moving average around 40 cents. And what is that? When we start zooming in on the charts once again, it's like this lower end target for ADA. So ADA truly could just keep consolidating. Crypto could just keep consolidating. On the on the 4 hour, we'll find ourselves oversold. You go to the daily chart and we kind of just pivot out and look at the momentum oscillator on the daily. If that were to happen and ADA starts falling, maybe we don't even get the structure, right? Maybe this awesome ascending triangle doesn't play out. I'll have to erase it. It just keeps falling. We're going to this Fibonacci. Look where the Fibonacci is. Check out the Fibonacci. Swing low to swing high of the move. We have this area of support, 40 cents at the 618, the 786 around 33 cents. It's like almost amazingly confluent with our moving averages down here. It would make so much sense if ADA actually did keep going. It really just would. And Bitcoin would probably be falling as well to key areas on its chart. Cryptos in general would be consolidating. People would become more bearish when this is just such a typical move. And again, I'm not trying to spread hopium. I'm not trying to say, hey, everybody, this is just, we're going to play out, we're going to come down, and we're just going to enter the bull market. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen. I have no idea. But what I will say is the move that's happening now is so consistent with the movement of crypto in general, of an altcoin in general, and consistent with historical data that we have throughout these cycles. And I continue to track these things. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that I continue to say how surprised I am and amazed I am that the charts are so consistent in this manner. And, when that breaks, I will point it out. It just hasn't broken on the macro. It just has not broken on the macro charts. But it's the macro charts and it's these targets that allow us to maintain a cool head and to kind of just be unemotional, just wait for these things to play out, and then watch what happens when they do play out, right? Now, there's a lot going on here in 2024. We have the interest rate narratives. If they start shifting interest rates down, and that could be bullish. But on the flip side, are we going to get some type of black swan events? Election year, who knows? That could be bearish. Right? So there's a lot going on that play into the story. But what I do know is I'm anticipating potential move to the downside. If we want to get some hopium in play, we zoom in on the 4 hour. We look at structure that's setting up and we say, okay, ADA's got to make some short-term moves off of this lower trend line, higher low right here. Maybe bounce to the upside. We got this symmetrical triangle in play, and all of a sudden we're at 56, 57 cents with a 77-cent target that we're tracking, right? Maybe we get a breakout to the upside, and all of a sudden everybody's bullish as we're approaching these previous highs. It can flip so fast. So I'll continue to monitor the story. It's very zoomed in. It's the zoomed out story that is probably most helpful, I think, to all of us. And that's what I'll be watching. So I appreciate you watching, following along with me, everybody. I hope you're doing well out there. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, turn notifications on. I appreciate all of your support. I'll see you all in the next video. God bless.